Good evening and welcome to tonight's Malden Catholic 2020 UnGala. My name is Jeff Smith. I'm a 1995 graduate of Malden Catholic High School. I came back to MC in 1999 as a teacher and a coach of multiple sports, and now I proudly serve as the assistant principal for student life. With me here tonight is Sarah Hamilton, our Director of Advancement Operations. Sarah, welcome to tonight's event.
Welcome. It's great to be here, Jeff. This isn't what we had planned for tonight, but we're really excited nevertheless for a great night.
Absolutely. So, Sarah, a lot of people are asking, what is the UnGala? What is a day of caring? Can you just explain that for us?
Well, that's a great question, and we've been hearing that a lot lately. The annual gala, each year Malden Catholic has had an event for the last 13 years. This would have been our 14th annual gala. And the gala is the annual celebration of our community and all the great things, especially our mission. And it's a chance where we get together as a community to honor tremendous people and volunteers who make a tremendous difference for our community, while at the same time raising needed funds for student scholarships and programs. Chains of events, and the gala wasn't meant to be this year. So we decided we still have so much to celebrate. We have such an amazing Malden Catholic community. And we decided to come together and have an UnGala. And here we are tonight, virtually in everybody's homes and living rooms, all across Massachusetts and probably across the United States, with a lot of our alum checking in to see what's going on.
And for those of you who have been to the gala for years, you know that we'd be enjoying each other's company, enjoying the food provided by our friends at Anthony's, but it's also a time to honor major people that have contributed to Malden Catholic. Tonight, we would have recognized our Brother Sullivan Medal recipients, Brian and Deb Walsh, Sherry and Peter Endicott, and Roberto DeMarco and MT Davila. We would also like to recognize our Plus Ultra honoree, Mason Tenalia, of the class of 1974. We will now do that in the fall at our SFX reception in October. But some good news, Mason is here with us tonight, and we'll be able to talk to him later on.
Absolutely. So we're really excited for this event, and we've had such tremendous support already. We've had a lot of donations, as you can see, coming in today. We're really thrilled and just so thankful for all the generous people who have been giving all day. Our emails have been the buzzing and beeping all day with the tremendous generosity of so many people that are really truly concerned about Malden Catholic and care deeply about our mission and our students and the tremendous work that happens on 99 Crystal Street. And it's our hope tonight that we'll have that roster and that roll continue to roll, and the donations will continue to come in and help us make a difference for our students on our Day of Caring on our UnGala.
This has been a huge year for Malden Catholic. Our headmaster, Mr. John Thornberg, came to us in June. Mr. Thornberg had an immediate impact on the culture here. And under his leadership, Malden Catholic continues to grow and look towards the future. No one could have anticipated 2020. There's no doubt about that. But under our leadership with Mr. Thornberg, we really look towards a positive and successful future. At this time, I'd like to introduce our headmaster, Mr. John Thornberg. Mr. Thornberg, welcome to the program tonight.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Smith. It's great to be here. Before you sign off, I heard through the grapevine that you ordered a razor through the mail. Do you have that with you right now?
Yes, I do, Mr. Thornberg.
And word on the street is if we raise a lot of money this evening, you might shave your head. Is that what I heard?
I was coerced into doing that. Yes, I was.
Okay, well, great, because that's why I'm here this evening, because I really want to see what you look like with it nice and short.
High and tight.
High and tight, yes. Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Smith. It's a pleasure to be here this evening as the headmaster of Malden Catholic. It was exactly a year ago that I came, and my first exposure to the community was at last year's gala. Little did I know a year later that we would be doing an UnGala here, and here I am in my own little studio in my spare bedroom in Melrose, and coming to you live. It's great to be here with you. People have asked me this past year why a guy from the Midwest wanted to relocate to Boston, and I've told people over and over again that it wasn't about relocating to Boston, but it was relocating to Malden Catholic. I've been in education over 30 years, And my goal one day was to be the headmaster of a school with a close-knit community, one with personal enduring relationships, a strong faith background, and one that met the needs of the students in a very unique way. I hope you all realize, and I'm sure you do, what a special place Malden Catholic is. It's one of a kind, and I am privileged to serve as the headmaster there. Little did I know back in March when we decided that we'd take 2 weeks for distance learning, that would turn into the rest of the school year. I'm happy to report to everyone that our faculty and staff have risen to the occasion and done an outstanding job meeting the needs of our students. We didn't miss a beat. We have a great community. Our parents and our families have been overwhelmingly supportive. A little later in the program, Jeff and Sarah will give an update on our enrollment statistics for next year, our incoming freshmen, which is a very strong number and reflective of all the great work that's been done this year. It's a great school. We have the legacy brand of the boys, the innovative brand of the girls, and I can't say enough. But tonight really is a celebration about the partnership we have with our donors. And that's why we wanted to do the UnGala. I was told a story once about a Sunday school class, and there was a Sunday school teacher who was getting ready to sit down and tell a story when a young girl was brought in. And this young girl was new to the church, and her right arm had been broken in an accident. She had it in a cast and a sling. And the parents explained to the Sunday school teacher that she was shy, her name was Susie, and that could she just look out for her. And so the teacher put her next to Billy, a very nice boy who was known to make friends easily. The morning went on and they did the lesson, and as usual, at the end of the lesson, the teacher would go through and have the students all go, you know, here's the church, here's the steeple, look inside and see all the people. And as she was going through that, she realized with Susie's broken arm, she'd not been able to do that. And so she looked over to see what had happened. And to her surprise, Billy had taken one of his hands and Susie had taken her good hand, and they had put them together. And Billy exclaimed to the teacher, "Look it, Susie and I made the church together." Well, that story reminds me of the importance of the partnership we have with our donors. Malden Catholic isn't great solely because of the staff and faculty. It isn't great solely because of the wonderful students and families we have. Malden Catholic is great because we have a great partnership with our donors, and together we make Malden Catholic. So thank you for this evening. Thank you for your partnership. I've said enough about the school. I do want to introduce a video that we showed at our Accepted Students Night that'll show a little bit more about Malden Catholic and what happens there. So without any further ado, we'll go ahead and get started with our video presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Thornberg. That was an excellent video. As you can see, Malden Catholic does have a lot to offer for our students. I'd like to personally thank all those that are sending me texts right now saying that they're donating just for the specific reason to see me shave my head. So thank you, illustrious athletic director, Mr. Raycraft. I expect to see your name on the donor roll. At this time, I'd like to welcome two students to the program. Ashley Reardon, a first-year student in our girls program, an SFX scholar, and to many, the brains of her gang. And Mr. Jake Morrow, a senior, captain of our championship mock trial team, also an SFX scholar. Ashley, Jake, welcome to the program tonight.
Good to be here.
Hello, Mr. Smith. Hello, everybody.
Ashley, I'll start with you first. This is your first experience at Malden Catholic as a first-year student. What do you like most about MC?
There isn't another school in the country that offers what MC has to offer for us, and you're just so lucky to have such an incredible school. From the courses we take to just the teachers in general, and everything's challenging, but at the same time, everyone's super supportive and has the perfect community.
Jake, you've been here for 4 years. You've actually been here longer because your brother graduated from Malden Catholic as well. What would you say is your greatest accomplishment in your time at Malden Catholic?
I would say my best accomplishment is probably the success I've had with the mock trial team. I mean, we've had numerous finishes where we've gone past the Elite Eight. We had a finish where we went to the Final Four, and actually just this year we were poised for another state championship run. So
excellent. We saw in the video, for those that are on campus all the time, they know Malden Catholic offers a ton of extracurriculars. So when the academic day ends at 2:30, it's almost like another life begins. Why do you think so many students stay after school after the 2:30 bell rings instead of going home like so many other schools?
There's just so much to do, from all of the clubs that are offered to all the teams. Everyone wants to just be with each other. And it's just one of those nice, tight-knit communities, as I said before. And there's just so much to do, and it's awesome. It's so much fun.
Ashley, what are you involved in?
I'm involved in a ton of stuff, from drama. I'm also on the mock trial team, art club, Make-A-Wish. I'm a student council representative and dance company. And I actually just recently made the hockey team.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jake, I don't know if we have enough time to list all the activities that you're involved in. If you wouldn't mind naming a few and some of the other events that you attend as a student at Malden Catholic.
yeah, sure. So as you heard, I'm a member of the mock trial team. I also manage both the varsity football and baseball teams. I'm a member of our boys student council. I'm a member of the Spanish club. I'm a member of Habitat for Humanity. I'm a member of Chem Club Model Bridge. And you know, after all the clubs, the school day still doesn't end, because after that, all the students will go to whatever sporting event it is, whether it's a Friday night football game or maybe a volleyball game, a basketball game, soccer game, baseball game, lacrosse, whatever the sport might be. You'll see a large representative of the student body there.
Excellent. Your time at Malden Catholic, we say you never leave, but you do graduate. What would you say is your greatest accomplishment at Malden Catholic, and what are you going to take with you from your 4 years there?
So really what I'm going to take is the values that MC instills in all of their students, those values including obviously the Zavarian values, but also things like hard work, like dedication, respect, obviously study skills.
And some of those values that you talked about, Jake, and incorporated with the 5 values that the school truly believes in, with simplicity, humility, compassion, trust, and zeal. No one really personifies those values better than our boys program principal, Brother Thomas Puccio, who celebrated his 50th anniversary as a Severian brother just 2 years ago. And in that same year, he was honored as a Malden Catholic graduate. We gave him an honorary degree that day. He holds a doctorate of educational leadership and is a dedicated classroom teacher to this day. One of his many talents also is to play the guitar. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Brother Puccio, who had an opportunity to interview a few students from our boys program. Here is a short video with Brother Puccio and some of our Malden Catholic students.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for your support of all things Malden Catholic. I'm happy to be here this evening with 3 of MC's finest. Senior Jake Hall, Senior Ty Blumberg, and Junior Ben Foy. Thanks, Ben, for joining us this evening. You know, the last 6 weeks have reminded me of stories from our alums who graduated from Highland Ave before we moved to Crystal Street in 1968. They would always say, we didn't have much of a building, but we had one great school. It was all about relationships, what went on, what they experienced. Well, dislocated as we are today, we're learning once again that Malden Catholic is much more than just a building. And I know that each of you has been a tremendous part in making Malden Catholic one great school. So I wonder if we might start by your sharing some of your involvements over the last several years. Jake?
I am a St. Francis Xavier Scholar, a member of the Brother Gilbert chapter of the National Honor Society, a member of Habitat for Humanity, a cross-country runner, and the founder of the Philosophy Club here at MC.
Thanks, Jake. And Ty?
Like Jake, I'm a member, 2-year member of the National Honor Society and a 4-year member of SFX. I'm also a member of the hockey team, the art club, and the current acting president of our Malden Catholic Habitat for Humanity chapter.
Thanks, Ty. How about you, Ben?
I run varsity track. I'm on the executive board for Model United Nations. I'm part of Habitat for Humanity as well. I'm in NHS, and I was selected to go to the Zavarian Brothers sponsored school retreat.
Okay. Wow, that's all really impressive. By the way, congratulations, Jake, on being a National Merit Commended student.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, nice going. So from all of those involvements, what would stand out to you as one of the more memorable? Jake?
My most memorable experience here at MC would be the Lazarus funeral mass we did, which was providing a funeral mass for a homeless Bostonian. And it was the first one we ran out of MC, and sort of the faith aspect in the neighborhood and giving back to your community absolutely struck a wonderful note, and it was a profound experience.
Thanks, Jake. Ty?
We had the awesome privilege of being a part of the inaugural Habitat for Humanity build in Malden, and we even had the privilege of raising the first wall of the first house ever built in Malden for Habitat for Humanity, which was a great privilege.
That's impressive. Nice going. How about you, Ben?
I think the Zavarian Brothers sponsored retreat was definitely one of the highlights here. Just it ignited my faith, and it really gave me this sense of community that I definitely want to continue at MC, because I know that MC is built on a tradition of community and of faith, and I want that to continue for many, many years.
Terrific. Well, thanks. You know, what amazes me is that with all of these involvements, all of you really do outstanding work in the classroom. Can you tell us how distance learning has been going for you?
So my 5 AP courses are ongoing online, and something I'd like to say is the faculty have been very responsive and understanding about the stresses we might have been having with the world at its current state. And they've also been flexible with grading and assignments and prompt with responding to emails, and that reflects very well on the faculty and staff as a whole.
Thanks, Jake. Ty?
So all 6 of my AP classes are still going strong. Quality of lessons, quality of teaching, still the same. But I gotta say, it really is great to be able to see my friends and see my teachers every day. That's something you really miss when you're home alone.
That's terrific. Ben?
Something different, something to get used to, but I think definitely, I know in my 3 AP classes, my teachers have been doing a great job of making sure that we're still prepared for the exam. Them responding to emails quick and responding to any comments or questions that we have really makes this transition easier and really effective.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. So how are college plans in place now?
I was accepted to my first choice, Boston College, early decision in December, and that's where I will be headed this fall at the Carroll School of Management to study business.
Congratulations. Ty?
Thank you.
I was accepted, early decision, to Washington University in St. Louis, and I'll be headed there this fall to study architecture.
That's great, Ty. Nice going. Ben?
In my college search, I think that University of Michigan is going to be probably one of my top choices, and I want to be a biomedical engineer.
Well, good luck with that. So before we sign off, would you have a shout out to any teacher?
Absolutely. I'd like to shout out Senora Crotty and Mr. Murray for writing my college recommendation letters and making a difference on me as a person throughout my years here at MC.
And I'd like to give a shout out to Mr. Gregory for running 2 AP courses. It's definitely not easy. And also to Ms. Lynch Galvin for being the moderator of our Habitat for Humanity Club during this difficult time.
Thanks, Ty. Ben?
I'd like to shout out Mr. Beliveau for not only helping us in the classroom with AP US history, but also providing running plans and training programs during quarantine to help us stay in shape.
Great. Well, men, thanks so much for your time this evening. It's been wonderful to see each of you. Best wishes as you close the school year, and blessings on the journey ahead.
Well, it's good. It's good. It's very exciting. We're watching the donations come in. That's the nice thing about having two screens here. But I'm really excited at this point to give another update. We have a challenge gift. I was hoping that we would come up with a challenge gift tonight, and I'm pleased to share that Rosemary Fallon from the Girls Catholic class of 1969 and also a member of our Board of Trustees has offered to match $2,500, which has already been donated by other Girls Catholic alum, Pat McQuaid from 1965, Joanne Vanna from 1959, and Deanna Chavez from 1955. So they've donated $2,500. Rosemary will match the $2,500, but here's the catch. We need $2,500 more to be donated by midnight by Girls Catholic alum or parents of students or family or friends of students in the girls program now. So I think we can do it. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think it's awesome. It's a great opportunity for us to reach new heights in raising funds for tuition assistance and student programs. I think that's fantastic, Sarah.
And so we can triple those gifts if our friends that are watching tonight, especially our Girls Catholic and our girls program families and friends, will text to MC to 41444 or visit our website at any time and click on the UnGala button and make a gift. And if it's easier, we also take checks. Just let us know that you're sending a check so we'll count it towards the match. So turning it back over to you, Jeff.
Thank you, Sarah. As you know, some of these funds go to some great programs here at Malden Catholic, including our drama and choir. Up next is a video clip from the play I Never Saw Another Butterfly, followed by a performance by 4 members of our choir. Please enjoy this video clip.
One who saw everything, the barbed wire fence, the rats, the lice. One who knew hunger, dirt and smells. One who heard trains arrive and leave. I sat in Irina's and Hilda's classroom to write and paint the story of those days. I never saw another butterfly. I never saw another butterfly. The last, the very last. So richly, brightly dazzling yellow against a white stone. Such a yellow is carried lightly, way up high. It went away, I'm sure, because it wished to kiss the world goodbye. For 7 weeks I've lived in here, penned up inside this ghetto. But I have found my people here. The dandelions call to me, and the white chestnut candles in the court. Only I never saw another butterfly. That butterfly was the last one. Butterflies don't live here in the ghetto.
I've been in this ghetto for weeks. I can't believe something like this could happen to me. When I go home, I'm only gonna eat white bread.
When I go home, I'm gonna make my bed every day, clean. When I go home, I'm going to drink hot chocolate in the winter, lots of it.
When I go home, I'm gonna have pretty white curtains and rugs too.
I'm gonna play ball when I go home and shout if I want to.
I'm going to sit very quietly and read storybooks as long as I want to when I go home. All night, maybe.
I'm gonna play piano when I go home, and everyone will sing, and we won't care how noisy we are.
When I go home,
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow.
I was so scared to face my fears. Nobody told me that you'd be here. And I swear you moved overseas. That's what you said when you left me.
And if you really try, you'll find there's no need to cry. In this place, you'll feel there's no hurt or sorrow. There are ways to get there if we care enough for the living. Make a little space, make a better place, heal the world.
I dreamed a dream in time gone by, when hope was high and life worth living. I dreamed that love would never die. I dreamed that God would be forgiving.
Please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow, for no one can feel those of your needs that you won't let show. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand, 'cause we all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on.
Outstanding performances from our drama club as well as from our choir. And our choir is led by the amazing Laura Tamagini, and those students couldn't put that together without her guidance and tutelage. I'd like to welcome back to the program Jake and Ashley. How are you doing tonight?
Been good. It's been very fun.
I'm good.
Ashley, I understand that you were also involved in the drama program this year.
Yeah, so earlier this year I was in the play Rumors, and it was such an amazing experience.
Awesome. Ashley, what has been your favorite part about the Malden Catholic experience so far?
I have to say, the teachers, each one takes their time to make sure that they're there to support you 100% of the way. They go above and beyond, and they're always there for you. There's actually one thing that comes to mind that with this. I have a teacher, Miss Foley, who's been there since the beginning, really. She's been my biggest cheerleader, whether it's for clubs I'm in, like mock trial, or just saying the morning prayer at school on the intercom. And she's the one who actually, in the blink of an eye, along with Dr. Bakari, she helped keep our Easter alive. Now, this year, because of the coronavirus, we're all kind of like quarantined, but she was able to keep the traditions going by having things like the Rosary or the Stations of the Cross, and we're so thankful to have her.
Excellent. Thank you, Ashley. Jake, 4 years. How would you describe the teachers at Malden Catholic?
I'd use 2 words to describe them. I would say they're supportive and outgoing. And whenever I think about, what an MC teacher really embodies, there's always one story that comes to mind where during my freshman year, when I first joined mock trial, I wasn't really sure if, I wanted to do it. I didn't know if I could handle getting up in front of a bunch of people and going up there and memorizing all the law and everything like that. I just wasn't sure if I could do it. So I went up to Mr. Gregory and I told him that I wanted to quit. And he told me that give it 2 more weeks. And if you still feel this way after 2 weeks, then, we can discuss it again and see what's going on. And thank God I didn't quit, because I wouldn't have had half of the success that I've had with that. And I really think that that story speaks volumes to the quality of teachers that Malden Catholic has.
Thank you, Jake. And so many teachers have impacted the lives of all of our graduates and our current students. I can tell you from my own experience that the personal relationships that are formed at Malden Catholic are our hallmark. We're very pleased that tonight we have an opportunity to have a video where there's an interview clip with three of our veterans. Miss Angela Lee from the English department. She's the department chair who has been at Malden Catholic for 38 years. Along with her will be Mr. Bob Bucchino, assistant principal for academics, who has also been at Malden Catholic for 38 years. He's also a graduate of Malden Catholic. And our school nurse, Miss Elizabeth Paquette, who has been here for 22 years. They will share some of their experiences and what it means to be part of Malden Catholic with our Director of Communications, Diane James. They will talk about how the teachers and students have impacted their lives. And these veterans have made this an academically exceptional institution. All three have sent their own children here. So please enjoy this interview with Angela Lee, Bob Bucchino, and Elizabeth Paquette.
If someone were to ask me why I've chosen to remain at Malden Catholic all of these years and why I chose to send my own two sons here, my answer would be this. First, it's about the personal, enduring relationships that we forge not only with our colleagues, but also with our students and their parents and guardians. And second, it's the fact that we meet our students where they are academically, socially, spiritually, and athletically, and bring them as far along as we possibly can. We direct them to their goals. I strongly believe that these are the two hallmarks of a Malden Catholic education. I do have a quick story to tell about a graduate from the class of 1985. He recently wrote and told me that he is now superintendent of schools in Knoxville, Tennessee, where he oversees the education of some 55,000 young people. When giving a speech to a group of several hundred administrators, faculty, and staff members during National Teacher Appreciation Week, he asked all those assembled to take a moment during the week to say thank you to a teacher who had impacted their lives. He thought he would take his own advice and do the same. He wrote to me, Ms. Lee, thank you for the inspiration and encouragement that you provided as my teacher. I learned a great deal from you, and perhaps, as importantly, I always enjoyed learning in your class. Thank you for the positive impact that you had on my life and on the lives of so many other young men throughout your career. Thank you for being a teacher. Gratefully, James. I am grateful to James and the countless other students who have graced the halls of Malden Catholic. I'm so very proud to have been and continue to be part of the Malden Catholic family memories.
This is with a student, now a college professor, who I taught in a geometry class back in 1984. It's just a few years ago. And after finishing corrections on a stack of papers, he recently reached out to me wishing to pass on, these are his words, a much overdue thank you. He went on to say that he had used the geometry class that I had taught on many occasions as a college professor, as a researcher, and as a tennis coach. His students had regularly commented to him how surprised they were that he would return corrected assessments to them the very next class, unlike some other college professors. He personally has felt the importance of doing this based upon a consistent class commentary regarding accountability and fairness that I had often used in that class. He remembers me saying, "Gentlemen, I expect you to do your homework and I will do mine." So please remember that that statement was 36 years ago, not 36 days ago. And what this means to me is that at some point in that class, I had made a connection with that young man and hopefully others. And now, a long time later, he as an adult, me and my finishing up my career as a teacher educator, that relationship still lasts and is still enduring. And he thought of it one day and decided that he would reach out to me.
I would like to tell the story of my friend Rudy. Rudy Fogg was in the class of 2011, very special young man. And in the fall of that year, I had received a phone call from a mother who had a disabled son. He was 8 years old. She needed someone to carry him upstairs to bed every night. And neither she nor her husband could carry that child up those stairs. It was just too much for them physically. They could not do it. So she had reached out to me, and she was crying and desperate. And I said, stop crying. We have lots of people that can help you here. So I thought of the football team, and I asked Rudy, who was captain of the football team that year, if he could help us out. And before I could finish the story, in true Malden Catholic fashion, Rudy stepped up and said, stop, someone should help that family. And so he did. Every night at 8 o'clock of his entire senior year, Rudy went to the house and carried that child upstairs to bed every night. And it made all the difference. It was the difference between that family staying intact or Sam being placed in a long-term care facility. So it was very meaningful, and he did it with such great humility and compassion and love. It was very heartfelt and very touching over that year to watch that young man trot up those steps every night and pick that little boy up to carry him upstairs.
And it really does encapsulate what I have experienced, and everybody here, our teachers who have been with us for many years, that Malden Catholic is about family. It's about enduring personal relationships. It's all about setting goals and standards and sticking with them, creating connections, and also about going above and beyond every day. So thank you for joining us, and we're going to turn you back to the UnGala.
But I'm real excited. I got a text message from my friend Bob McCarthy, and he wanted to let us know some good news, that we have another match, $10,000, my friends, from Bob Higgins from the class of 1964. Agreed to match up to $10,000, all gifts that come in by the end of the evening. So that could be another $20,000, my friends, from Malden Catholic.
Like we said, we have 180 new families coming in. We need your help. We're all impacted by this crisis, and this money will directly help the families in need, as well as support our student programs and our current faculty, staff, and students. Our school is an experience that we want others to know about. We need your help to continue to grow leaders in our community. At this time, I'd like to welcome Mr. Donovan to the program. He has done so much for Malden Catholic. He continues to do so much. His father is a graduate, and Jim has been a major contributor to our school for so many years. And there he is, Mr. Jim Donovan. Welcome to tonight's program.
Thank you, Jeff. You're doing a terrific job this evening, my friend. So thanks for all your efforts on behalf of the school. I want to, on behalf of all my colleagues on the Board of Trustees, welcome everybody who's been able to participate and join us tonight. You can see with the sign behind me that I'm doing this from my home on Cape Cod, where I've decided to shelter and find this to be a good place to hide during these challenging times. The gala itself has always been one of my favorite occasions and evenings at Malden Catholic. So of course it was disappointing when we weren't able to have a live gala this year. But as always, Malden Catholic and its leadership has answered the call. And tonight's performance surpasses anything that I would have anticipated they'd be able to pull off. So truly impressive, and hopefully, despite the fact we can't join and break bread and share a meal, this will still be a successful evening for the school. I want to thank the team that put this together, including Diane James, Director of Communication, and the advancement team. Incredible amount of work goes into occasions like this, and they did laudatory work. I also want to assure everybody that the board has been incredibly actively involved during these times, keeping a very close pulse We couldn't be more impressed with the job that John and his team is doing to make certain that Malden Catholic remains steadfast to its mission and to its commitment to only the very best in the way of a curriculum for education. And we're seeing that in spades, even during this period of turmoil. So congrats to John and his team. I got to say that I truly miss being able to walk the corridors at school, say hello to the kids, say hello to the staff, the faculty. But this opportunity tonight to sort of see the kids, have them share some of their talents has truly been incredible for me. I hope all of those who have joined us tonight also feel similarly. Like so many, my own roots with Malden Catholic go back a long way. My dad was a 1937 graduate. He subsequently, in the 1950s, was a custodian at the old Malden Catholic building on Highland Ave. He was a very good recruiter and recruited myself and my twin brother Joe to be junior custodians. So for a period of time, from when I was 9 years old till about 15 years old, I spent a lot of time in that building, getting to know every classroom and every restroom and every nook and cranny, but also getting to know and love the Zavarian brothers and watch my father give in so many ways to that school. So that was my first cycle at Malden Catholic. My family relocated from Malden when I was a sophomore in high school. And believe it or not, my second cycle in terms of service did not occur for 40 years. It was in 2001 that I rejoined the family. And it was frankly as a result of an epiphany, a calling. And I came back to Malden Catholic, joined the board as a trustee. And here I am 20 years later, serving my second 9-year term, the last several years as chairman. It's been an incredible journey, and one that I've thoroughly loved, and do primarily to honor my father. So Jeff and John have asked me and given me the honor and pleasure of introducing to you tonight our Plus Ultra award winner for this year. I met Mason in 2001 when we coincidentally joined the Malden Catholic board at the same time. I had the pleasure of serving with him on the board for 9 years. He was a terrific board member, major contributor in many, many ways. I recently, speaking of recruiting, I must have got this from my father. I recently recruited Mason to rejoin the board, which he agreed to do, and is now serving as the chair of the finance committee and doing, once again, a terrific job in that regard. He's been a dear friend and confidant for the last 20 years. We are very good fishing buddies. Without exaggeration, we fished together on Cape Cod hundreds of times. We have fished throughout the world together on many enjoyable fishing trips. Mason's a very competitive guy, but I got to confess, this fishing bit is still a work in progress for Mason. He is a native of Everett, a 1974 graduate of Malden Catholic, from where he proceeded to obtain advanced degrees from both Georgetown and the University of Chicago. Probably, if not one of the most brightest people I've ever encountered. Also, believe it or not, a pretty witty guy. I thoroughly enjoy his company and treasure his friendship. More impressive than how bright he is or how witty he might be is his loyalty first to his family, but equally so to Malden Catholic. And without donors, benefactors, trustees, alumni like Mason, Malden Catholic would not be a sustainable entity. So it's with great pleasure that I introduce Mason tonight.
Thank you, Jim. That was a very nice introduction, and I can still outfish you, just for the record. I'd like to thank Jim for that introduction. I'd also like to thank Joe O'Donnell, who I think is on this call, who sucked me into this 20 years ago, where we had an exchange, and he suggested I give back to MC, and I have to tell you, it's been one of the most rewarding things for me in the last 20 years, being involved in MC, being on the board, having some of my greatest friendships through the alumni of MC, and my involvement on the board level. I live on Cape Cod now, and I'm on the board, and so I only come to MC 4 or 5 times a year, and even recently we've been doing that remotely, so I don't get to see the kids as much. But I was really impressed by the videos tonight, and the program of having an all-girls program and an all-boys program is just terrific. It reminds me of the days long ago when we had successful schools on both sides. So I grew up in Everett and survived Parlin Junior High School, but the big difference in my life came from Malden Catholic. For those of you who don't know my professional background, I graduated from business school and went to work for McKinsey and Company, which in 1981 was a big deal. Maybe not that big a deal now, but back then it was a big deal. I was the only one in my class of 300 at the University of Chicago who got an offer at McKinsey, premier global international consulting firm. It's a premier job coming out of school, along with investment banking at Goldman Sachs and Lehman Brothers. And I got the question time and time again, how did a guy from Everett get to McKinsey? And I never hesitated for a moment. I said, the Malden Catholic debate team. And while my experience at Malden Catholic was great, right? It was a great high school education. Being on the debate team made all the difference in the world. And the friends and partners that I had in debate kind of put me on this path to go to Georgetown, the University of Chicago, McKinsey. And then I was able to start, build, and sell several consulting firms over the last 40 years. And I couldn't have done it without my MC debate experience. I don't have a context for people to have on this. Imagine if you had girls who were about to start a hockey program. Imagine there was no hockey program, and 4 years later you won the Super 8. That's effectively what we did in debate in 1974. John Pryor, Jim Veach, Tony Delapiana, and I were the precision line of high school debate, and we ran up this unbelievable record. We won the Catholic Conference. We, lost the state final to BC High, but that actually put me on a track to go to Georgetown and the University of Chicago. And people have said to me, and I got a couple of minutes here to share my experience, but people said to me, how did you, what do you attribute your success to? And I will just say that, debate was really a big deal. We don't have it anymore. We have mock trial. It's awesome that we're doing so well on that. But I have to say it was the defining thing for a kid from Everett, where Rodney Dangerfield once said, Everett, Massachusetts, where all directions are given with respect to sub shops, right? But kids could get from there to Georgetown, to University of Chicago or Harvard or wherever, if they work hard, have a little luck. In the case of debate, it was work hard, have a little luck, and have a great partner. And my partner, John Pryor, may be on this call, he may not. I don't know. There's a couple hundred people on this call. But John and I have been friends for almost 50 years. It's unbelievable. We met in the fall of 1970, so it will be 50 years soon. And he and I have stayed together as friends and fishing buddies and benefactors to Malden Catholic. I just want to say, John, you need to up your gift a little bit, just for the record. But that's been the secret of my success, working hard, having a little luck, and having a good partner. In my case, my wife of 38 years. And it's been a great experience to be involved with Malden Catholic. I want to take a second to tell those of you that haven't seen me speak at Malden Catholic in the past, but I always say that I'm oftentimes introducing people at other galas like Jim and Ted Legacy and Gene Fama. But I always say how important Malden Catholic is as an entity. I've given a lot of money to a lot of other institutions, but none of the benefactors out there can have the same impact they have as they can have at Malden Catholic. We need your money. Harvard, Georgetown, University of Chicago, great. But they don't need our money. Malden Catholic can really make use of it. And right now in this COVID environment, we have families who may or may not be able to make tuition next year. And the money that you give tonight can help us ensure that we get that incoming class of 180 kids. And the kids who are already there, boys and girls, can stay next year. And I'd like to encourage everybody to jump in on this one. I don't know where we are, Sarah. I hope we're going to come back with this, but MC is the most impactful gift you can make of your charitable giving. It's been mine. I'm really happy for it, and I'm really happy for all the friends that I've made at Malden Catholic. So with that, I'm going to check out, turn it back over to, I think, Jeff and Sarah. And I thank everybody for coming tonight. It's been a terrific experience so far.
Thank you, Mason. Congratulations on also winning receiving the Plus Ultra Award. That was excellent. So thank you very much. And thank you for your contributions to Malden Catholic. Next up, we have a segment from our girls program principal, Miss Lisa Sanka. Over a decade ago, Miss Sanka came to MC and successfully implemented the Brother Kevin program. And her son Matthew is a proud graduate of the school as well. With over 20 years in Catholic school education, Miss Sanka's enthusiasm and energy are visible on a daily basis. Here is a video of Miss Sanka talking with a few students about Malden Catholic.
Hello, MC community. Welcome to the UnGala Day of Caring. I'm Lisa Sanka, principal at Malden Catholic School for Girls. And tonight, I really want to show you what your donation dollars actually do at Malden Catholic. Those dollars directly impact students. And tonight, I have 3 of those amazing students on the video with me. Hi, girls.
Hi, Miss Sanka.
Hi. Hi. How are you? Hi. Great. Nice to see all of you. Let me just take a couple minutes and introduce each of you to our audience, okay? So first I have Alondra Enciso Torres. She's a first year. Hi, Alondra.
Hi.
And then I have Krisney Klurd. She's a second year. Hi, Krisney.
Hi.
And then I have Lauren Kozark. She's also a second year student.
Hi.
Hi, Lauren. So girls, tonight we are doing something really special. We are celebrating all of the donations that are coming in that help support students at Malden Catholic. And you 3 were invited because all 3 of you are scholarship recipients. Is that correct? Yes, that's awesome. So Alondra, let's start with you. I'd love it if maybe you could tell our audience a little bit about who you are at Malden Catholic and how you actually came to be a student there.
Of course. Okay, so as to who I am in 2 clubs right now, Girl Up and Students in Action. I'm also in the Student Council, and I'm a cheerleader at Malden Catholic.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yes. And as to how I got here, well, it's a long story, but to sum it up, I didn't think it was possible financially for me to attend. And that is why I was at Revere High School for 2 weeks. However, I did not see myself growing there, and my family and I really wanted me to attend Malden Catholic. That is when we reached out, and I was able to come. And when it was my first day here, I was welcomed with a big hug, and that is something I will never forget. Those little things make Malden Catholic so great, along with the leadership program. I see myself growing as a leader every single day, and that is something honestly so beautiful.
I can totally relate to that experience as a first-year student, and the love and care that is part of this community is something that I will personally never forget.
Wow, such a pretty story. That's amazing. I agree. It's so nice to be a part of the Malden Catholic community.
It sure is. You know, Chrisney, Alondra talked about leadership opportunities and how it's helping to mold her. And I know that for you, recently, you had a pretty amazing experience where you helped make a program that was about inclusivity at Malden Catholic. Maybe you could talk a little bit about what you do at the school, and I'd love for you to shed some light for everybody on that amazing program.
Sure. So I'm part of the MC choir, and I'm also part of the MC volleyball team, and I'm also part of an amazing club called Students in Action, where we come together and help putting on projects to help people feel included in the community. And this past year, I went on a trip to Washington, D.C., where me and 4 other amazing girls came together to make a speech in front of 300 people and to explain to them what it is to put everybody and to feel everybody being part of a community. And it was such a great experience to see other people come together and other schools and leaders say what they want to happen in the community and to help other people feel involved.
Wow.
I agree. That was a great trip, Christy. I also am part of the Students in Action program, and I remember meeting so many great people on that trip, and it felt really nice to be able to spread the word of inclusivity.
I mean, it sounds really nice, and I'm actually part of that program right now.
So I'm really honored to be with 3 girls that are making a difference in the world right now. That's amazing. So Lauren, both Alondra and Chrisney talked about leadership, and they talked about opportunities at the school to kind of grow in their confidence. And when I think about you, Lauren, I think about every time I see you, you're often working on your plays, and you are part of the drama program. And I think that sort of just really encompasses who you are, but it takes a lot of courage to be part of the drama program. So maybe you could tell our audience a little bit about who you are and also how you actually got to, do what you do on the stage.
Definitely, yeah. So I was not that confident on stage before I went to Malden Catholic. Through all my mentors like Mr. Casey and Miss Keith, I've become more confident and I've developed my stage presence. It also helped because Malden Catholic has a lot of opportunities, like being able to speak at Mass and being able to do the morning announcements. So it really helped me to put myself out there and just get as much experience as I possibly can.
Well, also, Lauren, I wanted to mention you're part of the Scholars Program at Malden Catholic, correct?
Yes, I am.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So, girls, Lauren gave a really nice shout out to 2 teachers that have really helped her. Alondra, do you have any teacher shout outs that you'd like to make tonight?
I do. I have a teacher shout out for Miss Foley. She's our campus minister, our Students in Action moderator. She does so much for the school, and I know that she'll always be there.
Wow, that's awesome. Miss Foley is amazing, right?
Yes.
And Chrisney, how about you? Do you have any teacher shout outs?
I would like to make a shout out to Miss Tamagini because she's our choir teacher and she's taught me so much about music and how to express myself during it. And she's just like, it's almost like a second family.
Yeah, Malden Catholic is such an amazing place. We're all so lucky. I'm also so lucky to have all 3 of you part of the community. So tonight, girls, let's have a special celebration. Let's say thank you to all of the people that make Malden Catholic great and to all of our donors. Let's celebrate tonight, girls. Let's say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, everybody have a great night.
Thank you, Ms. Sanka. Thank you, ladies. As you can tell, we have a lot of people helping out tonight based on the donor roll that's coming up through here. The one thing that we definitely do know is that Malden Catholic has been thriving for over 88 years, and we'll continue our tradition of providing one of the most well-rounded experiences and academically oriented schools in the future. We need your help more than ever.
Tonight has been an exciting evening. I know the scroll is going by, but we've had some outstanding gifts come in since we began, and we're just about to wrap this up. Everyone should, make sure to look at the scroll and see how to give. Text MC at 41-444 or go to our website. But I just want to tell everyone that since we began, Brian and Deb Walsh have donated $2,000 to Malden Catholic. That's outstanding. Longtime benefactor, one of the gentlemen that is a pillar of Malden Catholic, Mr. Joe O'Donnell, who I connected with earlier today to make sure, he wanted me to make sure to tell Mason, thank you for your long service to Malden Catholic. Mr. O'Donnell has made a gift of $2,500. And then there's a gentleman who we just celebrated his birthday a few weeks ago, Mr. Gerard Doherty and his wife, Regina. They were very generous this evening and pledged $25,000 to Malden Catholic. And I don't know where that razor is right now, Mr. Smith, but I think I'd be warming it up a little bit because just like we like to say, plus ultra, we have people going above and beyond this evening. And I just want to tell everyone who's been with us the whole evening, you've seen so many different parts of why Malden Catholic is such a special place. And you've been so generous. And just one last time, Jeff and I would be remiss if we didn't say, tonight's a unique opportunity for you to support the school. And I just want to thank you ahead of time. Jeff, I'll let you have your closing comments, and I think I'll close this in prayer, and then we'll move on with the rest of our evening.
Thank you, Mr. Thornberg. I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time to just be with us. We are a community. We wish we could be together in the gala at 99 Crystal Street in the gym. We know we can't, but we all know that you're out there. I definitely want to thank all those that helped put this together, and especially the students that joined us tonight live, Jake Morrow and Ashley Reardon. Truly appreciate your efforts and everybody's effort that went into making this a successful night, because everything that happens here is for the students and for our community and for the ongoing greatness that is Malden Catholic. Thank you, Mr. Thornberg, for having me tonight.
Mr. Smith, you did a wonderful job. We're really appreciative and fortunate to have you. Everyone that's with us tonight, let's go ahead and finish the evening in prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Father, thank you for the wonderful Malden Catholic community. Tonight was a perfect example of why our school has endured through the years, why our school has made a difference in the lives of the students. It's because of the generosity of our donors, of all the people that step up and support Malden Catholic High School. Thank you, Father, for the students we saw tonight. Thank you for the staff. Thank you for everyone who joined us. I'd ask as we go forward in these uncertain times that you'd put your hand upon Malden Catholic and all those associated with it. Bless us and guide us in the days to come. Help us become stronger through everything that we've encountered. And thank you, Father, for being so faithful to us. Help us to remain faithful to you. And it's in your name we pray. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and Holy Spirit. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. This was exceptional. I couldn't be happier with everyone's participation. Thank you and have a good evening.